Namaskar, I am Rajendra Salokhe. Today we are learning about the Nimzo Indian defense Leningrad variation. As seen in my earlier videos, and look at the chart at the left, the Nimzo Indian defense starts with d4, knight f6, c4, e6, knight to c3, bishop to b4. So now after this, if white plays queen to c2, then it is classical variation of Nimzo Indian. Now if after this bishop to g5, white plays e3, it is Rubinstein variation. And after bishop b4, if white plays bishop to g5, then it is Leningrad variation. And it was supposed to be very favorite variation of world champion Boris Spassky. So after this, I'll show you the most popular moves in the variation, which I have taken from the Explorer, chess database Explorer. So popularly played moves are h6, of course, to threaten the bishop. Bishop goes to h4, plays c5, white plays d5, d6, e3, bishop cross c3. Nimzo Indian, most of the variations, this bishop crosses the white knight, exchanges the white knight. One thing, because he had given a threat, but supposing the pawns start moving, then the bishop may get trapped also. So he captures it, b cross c3, e5, bishop to d3, knight to d7, knight to e2, queen to e7, knight g3 and e4 are the popular variations of this Nimzo Indian Leningrad variation. Now I'll see one game here. Now see the first moves, whether they are correct as per the Leningrad variation. c4, e6, knight c3, bishop to b4, bishop to g5. Up to this, and next, of course, he plays c5 first. Pawn goes to d5. So black castles. White plays e4. Now he plays this h6, which was the immediate popular move, where bishop crosses this knight. So queen cross f6, queen to d2, pawn to e cross d5, c cross d5, d6, knight f3, rook e8, bishop d3, bishop g4. He takes king to e2, knight d7, a3, knight e5, a cross b4, bishop cross f3 and check, king goes to f1, bishop cross g2 and check, king cross g2, queen to f3 and check, king to g1, queen to g4 and check, king to f1, queen to h3 and check, king to e2, queen to f3 check, king to e1, knight cross d3 check, queen cross d3, and now that queen has no support actually. No, what are the big threat? I don't know, but this is the alternative could have been king to f1, but then both the rooks go. See, so that was a better move, in fact, to lose the queen. Queen cross d3, queen is gone. B cross c5, king to c4 and check. Knight cross e4, rook to e8, f3, queen to e3 check, king to f1, queen to f3 check, king to g1, rook to e4, h3, rook to e2, rook to h2, queen to g3 check, king f1, queen cross h2, c cross d6, and queen to f2 and checkmate. We'll see another game which is played by Boris Spassky himself. Boris Spassky is white and Mikhail Tal, both great players. Mikhail Tal is black, and Boris Spassky has lost this game, but see the initial moves. This is up to this is Leningrad variation. Plays of course the popular move h6, bishop to h4, c5, d5, b5. These are the popular moves, in fact. D cross e6, f cross e6, c cross b5, d5, e3, castle, knight f3, queen a5, bishop cross f6, bishop cross f6, rook cross h6, queen to d1 to support this knight, but that becomes more problematic. We'll see a6, b cross a6, knight c6, bishop cross e2, bishop to e2. Now it threatens with the knight. You cannot remove the knight because then white will lose the queen. But he is having another idea. He puts this pawn here, e cross d4. He crosses this knight with the rook. See, one rook gone, one knight gone, rook gone. Then he of course captures this and threatens his knight. You cannot move the knight. White castles. So d cross c3, and in fact I'll go back. It has taken two knights. See, one knight here gone and another knight here gone. So two knights and lost a rook. So in fact it is favoring white only. B cross c3, bishop cross c3, queen to d6, rook cross a6, bishop cross c6, bishop to b4, queen to b8, rook cross c6, rook to c1, puts bishop in between, bishop c5, rook to c2, queen to a4 threatening the rook. He puts his queen in between, queen to b3, queen to f4, queen g3, queen f5. It doubles the rooks, bishop b7, queen f3, queen g5, queen b3. He moves the rook up and threatens this g2 pawn. Now if he captures by queen, it is a checkmate only. So he has to take care. It has to lift g3. Bishop cross g2 check. King cross g2. Queen to f6 check. King to e1. Queen to e5 check. King to f1. Bishop to g6 check. Queen to g1. Queen to d4 check. King to g2. Queen to e4 check. Queen to g1. Bishop b7. Again he is threatening this, that if it comes to the queen, it comes to h1, then king has one square to escape here, but he cannot stop that also presently. So he leaves this pawn to h4. Queen to h1 check. King to f2. Rook to f7 check. King to e2. Queen to e4 check. So consistently is getting check, and so he resigned. White resigned, Boris Spassky. So next move I analyze through computer, and the moves will be like this. Push the queen in between. Give check from here. Rook to. Now this is a very critical position. See, if he moves, he can move the king to two places here. He is to support queen. If moves to d1, then queen goes. If moves to e1, queen goes. You cannot move here and here. Two places are blocked by this rook. So the only where it can move is this d2. So that d2 move will later analyze. But then another move is to block the check with the rook. So I bring the rook at c4. So bishop cross c4. So he again crosses, queen crosses c4. Now king to d1. Rook to f1 check. King to d2. Queen to c1 check. King to d3. Rook to d1 check. King to e4. Queen to c2 check. King to f3. Rook to f1 check. Queen to f2. Rook cross f2. King to e3. Rook to e2 check. King to f4. And queen to e4 check. Mate. So we'll go back to that situation where king could move only to the black space here. Now here king has to protect the queen, so it can move to this d2. So if it moves to d2, let us see what happens. It goes to d2. Then rook comes to d7 and check. So king has to move out to c3. So queen captures this queen and gives a check. King goes to b4. Again check with the rook. King goes to a4. Bishop c4. Rook cross c4. And queen to a7 and check. So anyhow it gets a check. So keep watching and please subscribe this channel. This channel is titled Mrs. Lata Rajendra Salokhe. So please, my old subscribers, I request them to subscribe this channel instead of my old channel Rajendra Salokhe. Thank you very much. Keep watching. There will be a lot of other videos. I'll be posting more videos simultaneously. I'm making videos on end games. So end games and this various defenses. Nimzo Indian after Nimzo Indian. I don't know. I want to revise Karo Khan again. Karo Khan I've made a lot of videos. I want to revise that. And then I'll go to other Sicilian, etc. defenses and their variations. Thank you once again.